During Christmas dinner, my uncle looked at my kids and said, "Weird how none of them look like their real father." The entire table went silent except for my 8-year-old daughter asking if she could have more mashed potatoes. I froze with my fork halfway to my mouth while my husband David's face drained of all color. "What do you mean, Ray?" David asked slowly, setting down his wine glass with shaking hands. My uncle's eyes locked onto mine with this smug expression I'd never seen before. "Come on, Beth. Look at those kids. Dark hair, brown eyes, olive skin. David's blonde and blue-eyed." He gestured toward my 3 children like he was presenting evidence in court. My mother cleared her throat loudly and started collecting plates, but Ray wasn't finished. I stood up so fast my chair scraped against the hardwood floor. "Ray, what exactly are you trying to say about my children?" My voice came out sharper than I intended, and my 6-year-old son looked up from his coloring book with worried eyes. Ray leaned back in his chair with his arms crossed, clearly enjoying the chaos he'd created. "I'm saying what everyone's been thinking for years. Those kids don't look like David. They look like that construction guy who used to work at your house." My heart stopped beating for a full second. The construction project from 9 years ago, before my youngest was born. David's jaw clenched as he connected the timeline in his head. My sister grabbed my arm and whispered that we should take this conversation somewhere else, but Ray was already pulling out his phone. "I've got pictures from the Christmas party 4 years ago. Look at little Tommy next to his dad and tell me you don't see it." He started scrolling through photos while my children sat there absorbing every toxic word. I snatched the phone from his hands and saw what he meant. The side-by-side comparison he'd apparently been planning for years. Tommy did look different from David, but he looked exactly like my father, who died before Ray could poison him with these lies. The resemblance was striking now that I was looking for it. David stood up abruptly and announced he needed air, walking out the back door without looking at me or the kids. My mother finally found her voice and told Ray he needed to leave immediately, but the damage was already done. My youngest daughter started crying because she didn't understand why Daddy looked upset and why Uncle Ray was being mean. I gathered my children and told them we were going home early, trying to keep my voice steady while my world crumbled. In the car, my oldest asked if Daddy was mad at us, and I had to pull over because I couldn't see through my tears. That night, David slept in the guest room and avoided eye contact during breakfast. I found him looking through old photo albums, studying our children's faces with this clinical detachment that broke my heart. "We need to talk about the construction project," he said without looking up, "and we need to talk about Tom Watson." The way he said Tom's name told me Ray had planted deeper seeds of doubt than just physical appearance. I realized my uncle had been planning this nuclear bomb for years, collecting evidence and waiting for the perfect moment to destroy my family for reasons I couldn't understand. I called my lawyer Monday morning and explained the situation, asking about DNA testing and defamation laws. She said family members spreading lies about paternity could constitute intentional infliction of emotional distress, especially if done maliciously. We scheduled an appointment for that afternoon because I needed to protect my children from Ray's psychological warfare. David agreed to come with me, and we spent 2 hours going through legal options while trying to figure out why my uncle wanted to destroy us. The lawyer suggested documenting everything Ray had said and getting witness statements from other family members who'd heard his accusations. The DNA test results took 10 days that felt like 10 years. David and I barely spoke while we waited, and the kids sensed something was wrong even though we tried to act normal. When the lab called with the results, put it on speaker in our kitchen where this nightmare had started. 99.9% probability that David was the biological father of all 3 children. I watched relief flood his face as he pulled me into the first real hug we'd shared in almost 2 weeks. The damage Ray had done to our family's peace of mind felt permanent, like a scar that would always remind us of his cruelty. Ray never apologized, even after my mother sent him the DNA results and demanded he make things right. Instead, he doubled down, claiming the tests were somehow falsified and that I'd manipulated the samples. My sister told me he'd been spreading the same lies to other family members for months, apparently convinced that our marriage was somehow offensive to him personally. We went no contact immediately and told our children that Uncle Ray had some problems with telling the truth. David's healing took longer than mine because Ray had attacked his role as a father, the most important part of his identity.